Welcome to the Hometown Bluegrass Show weekly podcast presented by Allen Music Shop. Co-hosts Tim Batts and 20-time Bluegrass Guitar Player of the Year Josh Williams will talk about the latest bluegrass news, interview folks in the industry, and give you lighthearted stories and music tips along the way. Now, here's Tim and Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Mordecai.
Man, I love that Mordecai. I love that intro music, man.
That's a good song,
That's one of my favorite songs. I just love it. When we was trying to decide what to play for an intro, I thought, man, I wonder if we can make Mordecai work.
Well, I'm glad we did.
Me too, man. That's one of my favorites.
It is a good one, man. It is a good one.
Sure is. Well, here we are on the Hometown Bluegrass Show presented by Allen Music Shop. Downtown Paducah, Kentucky, on the banks of the Ohio River. And it's finally warmed up a little bit on us here, and Josh has been busy, man. It's warm here, but it was real warm where you were, wasn't it?
Well, one of those days was really warm.
The day in Florida, right?
The day in Florida was pretty nice. It was about, I don't know, I think it ended up being about 70 degrees, but it was pretty awesome, man. The evening was a little chilly.
Yeah.
Just because it was, it was pretty humid and stuff, but we got... Let's see, we drove from there. We spent the night in Savannah, Georgia, and then by the time that we got to Asheville, North Carolina, big temperature change, man. Oh, my goodness.
I bet. So you were down playing, what is it, the Palatka?
Yes,
Bluegrass
we were in Palatka.
Festival? Mm-hmm. And then, so you played there, Saturday? This past Friday?
Friday, yeah. And we were in Asheville at the Bluegrass First Class.
Is that a new festival? Or?
No, it's been around a long time.
I hadn't heard of that one.
In fact, the guy that books it and promotes it and stuff, his name's Milton Harkey, and he was the road manager for the Bluegrass Album Band.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, it takes it back, don't it? Man.
Yeah.
Well, he's been around a while.
He has been, man.
Well, that's pretty cool. Well, y'all had a good time. It's with Josh's new band, Southern Legacy. So I guess
it was amazing. We had such a good time.
That was your first festival as a group, right?
First festival weekend, yeah. It was 2 festivals in one weekend, and I've forgotten how much I miss it, man. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. So good to see those folks out there again, man.
Oh, I bet. For those of you who don't know, Josh has been off the road for a couple of years and toured with Rhonda Vincent and the Rage for many years, and took a couple of years off, be with his kids, and still is, and works a job here around Paducah area. But trying to get back out on the road a little bit and touring with a great group. Tell them about Southern Legacy. Who all's in that?
So Southern Legacy is an idea that Don and I had. Gosh, we started talking about this thing years ago, man. And so Don Rigsby and I are the ones that kind of sort of came up with the idea. But, man, we have just fallen in with the right guys, man. We've got Mike Anglin playing bass from up around Berea, Kentucky. And let's see, Ron Block from Allison Krause and Union Station. He's playing banjo and guitar with us. And Steve Thomas is playing fiddle. And he's been on the road, gosh, what a pedigree this guy's got, because when he was young, he went with the Lost and Found, and then after that, he went with the Osborne Brothers, and he played with Jim and Jesse, and I mean, he's played with a whole bunch of great bluegrass artists. But then he went on the road with, for like 25 years, he was on the road doing country. So he was with Brooks and Dunn and Aaron Tippin and you name it, he's played with them.
Yeah.
So he's even got himself. He even played on Aaron Tippin's first #1.
Wow.
Ain't nothing wrong with the radio. That's Steve playing fiddle on that.
Ain't nothing wrong with the radio.
That's the one, man.
Yeah. I wonder if he wore tight jeans like Aaron wore.
Oh, I guarantee he did, because he came from the world of Barbara Mandrell, so I'm sure he's got the tight jeans, and I know he's got the dance moves.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. That's cool.
Dude, it was so much fun. What a great weekend. Well,
I'm glad you guys had a good time, and it's so good to see you back on the road again. I'm sure it was cool to see all the fans again.
Man, it was great.
That's awesome.
It was great.
Well, we love doing the Hometown Bluegrass Show for you guys here, and so glad to have Josh with us on that. And we were looking at bluegrass today. Just like to give you guys a heads up on any bluegrass news that's current and going on. And one thing we noticed that the sideline, the band with Steve Dilling and Skip Cherry Holmes that kind of came off the road and semi-retired or whatever, they're back in the studio cutting more music. So I guess it's still to see whether or not they're going to make a go of it again or not. I don't know.
I don't know either. I thought they were done.
I did too.
Come off the road, but it looks like they're still doing stuff, man.
I guess that bluegrass music gets in you, man.
You can't keep a good band down.
See, you're a testimony to that. See,
that's right, man.
You just come off the road and gotta get back at it again. It gets in your blood, don't it?
Oh, it really does, man. Did you see that big write-up about Bluegrass First Class celebrates big year in 2024?
No, I did not.
Man, there is a write-up on there. And I think this may have been a few days ago now, but I mean, it was talking about the weekend. But anyway, there was this real good-looking bunch of guys on the cover photo there of that story, and I didn't know if you...
Man, yeah, that guy in the middle looks familiar there.
Yeah, he does, yeah. So it was cool, man. And we just found out that they're going to do a cover story on us in Bluegrass Unlimited.
That's awesome, man.
Fun, dude. Fun times.
Yeah, that's real cool. Maybe you'll make the cover.
I do hope so.
That'd be good publicity for sure. So, well, we here at the Hometown Bluegrass Show decided, you know what? We are the Hometown Bluegrass Show, so why not spotlight your hometown or our hometown? So what we'd like to do, there's tons of great hometowns out there that are just great bluegrass towns, you know, towns that either that birth some bluegrass people or just have a great festival or what's going on. But it's we're going to start with the
some towns just have bluegrass like songs written about them.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah. So what we would like for you to do is get on our Facebook page, the Hometown Bluegrass Show. Tell us about your hometown. If you have a cool hometown that's just full of great bluegrass music or really any kind of just good music like that, we want to hear about it. We'll try to spotlight it. So tonight we're going to talk about Josh's hometown, which is Benton, Kentucky. If you've never been to Benton, Kentucky, it's right there in the heart of Marshall County in the Kentucky Lake Barkley area, which is very popular. Most people have heard of that. So what was it like growing up in Benton, Kentucky?
Well, it was probably just the same as it would have been any other town normally, but music bit me pretty young. So I started playing music at a very young age. The funny thing is when I was in elementary school, the kids and stuff that I was going to school with, I mean, they all knew I started to play. I mean, I was playing the banjo for the most part all the time. I was in third grade. I was playing banjo. And, of course, that always got the little stabs and the jokes and all that kind of stuff, And the funny thing was, I was playing several instruments by the time we were in high school and had already been on the road quite a bit and done a lot of stuff, worked at Opryland already by that point and everything. And, come junior and senior year, all those cats that were laughing at me when we were younger, always wanting me to be like, hey, man, can you show me how to play this on the guitar? All that kind of stuff. But, it was fun, man. Yeah. My grandfather lived on the lake, so we were on Kentucky Lake all the time. And that's where I learned how to fish and all that kind of stuff and spent a lot of time with my grandpa and my uncle, my mom's brother.
Yeah.
And,
Well, cool. Well, I think a lot of people think of Benton, they think of the square, it's that typical hometown look where it's got the courthouse square, and so you got to go one way around that. Every time I'm in Benton, it's like, oh, I got a wrong one-way street.
It only goes one way, yeah.
So,
you can only go around it one way.
And your dad promoted the Bluegrass Festival for many years they had there. And
he did.
So that
got to be a pretty big deal, I mean, when they started doing that, gosh, I don't even remember the first time. Or who even played the first one, but man, there was a lot of folks. Just about everybody that was touring at that time, played that. I mean, that's how we got to be such good friends with so many people in the business. I mean, my dad got to be friends with all of the bands and their promoters and their booking agents and stuff, and it really helped my career, being able to, of course, a lot of the time he was referred to as Josh's dad, but it was always funny because that's always what he'd say. So this is Tony Williams, Josh's dad, every time,
Oh, that's funny.
But my dad was every bit as into the bluegrass scene as I was. Just because I played, he immediately went to the other end of it, of the promoter side of it, and that became like a pretty well known thing. And we would have 3-4 bands every year.
Yeah,
it was a blast.
Well, that's cool, man. It's a great music town. I mean, we've got the music venue we're a part of, that we serve on the board for the Kentucky Opry, and they're one of our sponsors here. And then also one of our sponsors, Puckett's Jewelry, is right there on the square in Benton. And so, but if you never get a chance to come to the Benton area, the Kentucky Lake area, the land between the lakes is just beautiful. So you'll definitely want to come, and you can always hear some great music around there. So.
That's right. And there's talk that they may end up bringing the old bluegrass on the square back.
Yeah,
so
that'd be great.
I know I and some other folks in the association back about a year ago, started talking about it again, and I know it came up in one of our meetings. You remember, and hopefully, we can get everybody together. Let's make that happen. That would be amazing.
Absolutely.
And I know it would be good for my dad's memory.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that'd be cool to do it in his honor for sure. So
he did so much to promote bluegrass music in this area, and it was honestly, when I first started playing, there wasn't much of it around at all. Really wasn't. Not around this part. I mean, you can go over to the eastern side, and it was everywhere. But just wasn't a whole lot here.
Yeah.
And then the first time that we went to IBMA, which it was still in Owensboro, Kentucky at the time, man, that just changed everything. That changed him, that changed me, everything.
Yeah.
It was a whole nother outlook on life.
It is funny, the difference in bluegrass music from one end of the state to the other. At the Steel Drivers concert, the band that opened for them is our friends, Wheelhouse Rousters. Well, Nathan Lynn, who you give his son guitar lessons, he mentioned from the stage that very thing. He said, we're trying to bring bluegrass back to Western Kentucky, and right here in this river country where we live, he said, we're riverbillies instead of hillbillies. I thought that was so funny. I never heard it called that before. That's funny. Riverbillies, but
yeah.
All right, well, cool. Well, Benton, Kentucky is a great place. That's the hometown we're featuring this week. So, again, if you've got a great music town, your hometown, please, we want to hear about it. Just look us up on Facebook at the Hometown Bluegrass Show and send us a message or just leave us a comment on there, and we'd love to hear about it. So,
absolutely.
Speaking of Facebook, I don't even know if I've told you this, Josh, but Joe Mullins and the Radio Ramblers put on a Bluegrass Festival every year. You've probably been to it. I know you have. Yeah. Industrial Strength Bluegrass Festival. Well, Daniel Mullins, Joe's son, hosts a podcast called The Walls of Time, and has a great podcast there, so check that out. But he has given us 2 free tickets to give away for this festival coming up in March. So
that's awesome.
In order to win, all you've got to do is go to the Hometown Bluegrass Show and simply leave us a message or a comment as to what you love about bluegrass music. And we're going to draw on February the 29th. It is a leap year this year, so we got one extra day in February. So this festival is March the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, and it's in Wilmington, Ohio. And if you want free tickets to that festival, I mean, there's a great lineup from Joe Mullins and the Radio Ramblers, Donna Ulysses, Authentic Unlimited, Darren and Brooke Aldridge, Carson Peters, Daly and Vincent, Jerry Sally, Poe Ramblin' Boys, and the list goes on. And it's a great 3-day festival. And the cool part is it's indoors, so free tickets. So just give us a message on Facebook. Tell us why you love bluegrass music, and you could be chosen to win free tickets to the Industrial Strength Bluegrass Festival.
That's right. That's awesome.
So be sure and enter today.
You said that about being a leap year. Did you know, and I heard this morning, and I can't believe this is even a thing, but I guess they're talking about the next leap year, they're going to skip it.
What?
And then the one after that, they're going to have a February the 30th.
Shut up.
I swear I heard
Where
this.
did you hear that?
My mother told me this stuff this morning. She literally had heard it on the radio right before she told me. I couldn't believe it. I thought that's the silliest thing I've ever heard.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Well, I guess stranger things have happened, maybe.
Well, I keep hearing we're doing away with the daylight savings time, but I haven't seen that yet either.
I don't think that's going to happen anymore. I think they dropped that. I don't know. Maybe. Who knows, dude?
Who knows, man? I just live. We just like to live and play music.
That's right.
So, well, we got a great show coming up for you. Stay tuned with us because we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, Josh is going to show you how the song that he played for years, I've Forgotten You, with Rhonda Vincent. It's a beautiful song. Josh did the mandolin intro on that, and he's going to show you how to do that, or tell you how to do that. And we're going to play a little bit of that for you and give you a little mandolin lesson on this episode. And then we got a great interview coming up after that with Mr. Dalton Harper. So
we got the city life going on out there.
Yeah, we're downtown, high atop the hometown radio towers here in Paducah. So we got the men in blue after somebody. So
dun, dun, dun.
That's right. But y'all stay tuned. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back right after this
Don't
message.
miss it if you can.
Allen Music, located in historic downtown Paducah, Kentucky, is your source for fine guitars and all types of acoustic instruments. At Allen Music, we are experienced and enthusiastic players of everything we offer. Allen Music is family-owned and has been serving musicians since 1976. So stop by and thank them for supporting bluegrass music. Allen Music, 215 Kentucky Avenue, downtown Paducah, or check them out online at allenmusicshop.com. The Kentucky Opry provides clean, family, year-round entertainment. Come see one of our great shows like our free bluegrass and gospel shows each and every month. The Kentucky Opry also brings in big-name comedians and entertainers like Lori Morgan, Shenandoah, the Kentucky Headhunters, Colin Ray, the Malpas Brothers, and many more. Visit them at KentuckyOpry.com or call the box office at 270-527-3869. Unlimited Graphics in La Center, Kentucky is a full-service advertising specialty product company specializing in custom printing, screen printing, embroidery, and promotional products. Our job is to make your job easier. For almost 40 years, we have been serving customers all across America and would welcome the opportunity to earn your business no matter where you're located. Visit us online at unlimitedgraphics.com, and remember, promoting your business is our business.
Custom Automotive in Calvert City, Kentucky has been a family-operated business for over 50 years. When you call Custom Automotive, you'll talk to an experienced tire and wheel expert. They install wheels and tires on thousands of vehicles every year in addition to their online sales. Stop by and thank them for supporting bluegrass music. Custom Automotive, Highway 62, Calvert City, Kentucky, 270-395-7611. Or visit them online at customautoonline.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to the Hometown Bluegrass Show, presented by AllenMusicShop.com. We're glad to be right here inside Allen Music Shop, recording this podcast each and every week for you. And so thankful for Brandon Allen and all his people and his family and staff that run this place. And so we like to do a little music tip segment each and every podcast. And so this week, I thought it'd be cool. I asked Josh if he would grab a mandolin off the shelf, and they just traded for a really, really nice Eastman mandolin, and that you can come down here and play and buy for $1,300, looks like. So this is a pretty nice mandolin. Got some pearl inlay on there, and
I've never understood about stores or anything like that. It's never
$1,300. $1,299.99.
Yeah,
it sounds better, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never understood that.
I haven't either. But anyway, this part of the show, I thought Josh and Rhonda Vincent's done a great song with Josh for years and years, and the song is called "I've Forgotten You." Many of you have probably heard it, and it's one of my favorite songs. And but the mandolin intro on this song is just really fabulous. And Josh, you did it, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Original recording.
I was the original, yeah. She always credited me for coming up with this, and I don't
Don't
remember coming up with this. I remember playing something kind of sort of similar to what they had.
Yeah.
But I know it wasn't, as much as what we got going on this thing.
Yeah.
But, it was a kind of a different thing, Cross picking on a mandolin is not an easy thing to be able to do, It's kind of tough.
Yeah. Well, that's what this song's all about, cross picking on the intro.
And Jesse McReynolds, I am not on the mandolin, let me just say.
Well, so what if you recommend it for somebody wanting to maybe learn the intro to this song? Any tips at all that you could give them on? We're going to do it in the key of D.
Yes, it's in the key of D.
I'm going to strum the guitar chords, and Josh is going to play the intro. But it's just kind of cross picking the melody, isn't it?
Kind of, sort of. There was like it was a walk down run that the thing was doing on the original, like the work tape, and I just kind of came up with the type of thing, where I'm just literally. Right. That's all I'm doing,
So it's in the key of D. You're playing the high E string and just kind of.
Yeah. So I'm just.
When we get done playing this for you folks, I'll record his hands video in this, and we'll put it on our Facebook page, and you can go check it out. So let's play it a little bit and just show them the intro, how it sounds.
Yeah. And Tim's going to be Rhonda here, so.
Yeah. Not near as pretty, though.
Yeah. Oh, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, my friend.
That's right.
Oh, here we go. So. For the kickoff,
Yeah.
Now, when we went into the solo, this was originally recorded on a live album, on the Ragin' Live album that came out. We recorded that in 2004. It was released in 2005. The solo that I ended up playing on this was literally happened by accident.
Oh, really? Why is that?
Because I didn't know what I was going to play.
Oh,
we never really worked up anything as far as that goes. So just one of the many takes that we made of this particular song, I had this idea because it was the I've forgotten you, I've forgotten every single time you kiss me. I don't miss it like you think I do. I've forgotten you, how you held me and it felt like it's what you were born to do. If I lie enough, it might come true. I've forgotten you. So I did like this triplet thing, which is really just double time is all I'm doing.
Right.
So it's just walking up a scale, kind of like halfway back down and then back up. That's the lick. But when you have it in context, so, that's really all it was. But it just came out. It literally worked perfectly.
Yeah.
And
it does. It's so beautiful, and to hear it on the live recording or on the original recording, it's
and
amazing.
She did a music video to it as well, and it was taken from the live recording, but they were able to somehow or another take the audience out of it, so you didn't know it was a live tune. It was the weirdest thing. It's like you would think there was still be bleeding over or something. And there wasn't. It was really cool. But she did a video. She went out to Colorado, and they filmed this video. And then afterwards, when they were leaving to go back to, I'm not sure if these folks were from California or where they were. Anyway, they let the camera and the film and everything go through the X-ray machine.
Oh.
And of course, it damaged the film.
Oh my Lord!
So all of that footage that they had shot had like these weird lights and these discoloration and like spots and all this. It was the strangest thing. So they were able to go back, and she basically shot like a second video for it, where she's like just kind of sitting around and singing and watching these old videos. Mm-hmm. So they were able to turn the original stuff into what looked like she was watching old videos off of an old reel-to-reel video camera.
That's a cool story.
It was so cool, man. It ended up being great.
And that makes sense because the song's "I've Forgotten You," so it's like she's kind of thinking back,
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Wow, that's pretty neat.
Yeah. So and obviously the song "I've Forgotten You," it's a play on words because the meaning is she hasn't.
Right. Exactly.
Like she can't.
Yeah. You got to hear the words.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's see, what else was I going to say about it? Because I was trying to think of something else, and it slipped my mind now. But anyway, it was going to be profound too, Tim. You know that, right?
I'm sure, yeah. If you were going to say it, it was...
I mean, it was legendary in my own mind,
I know it. I could see the smoke coming out of your ears, so... For sure.
Oh, man, that don't happen often.
I know it. All right. Well, there's the musical portion of the show right there.
Yep. And just to make it complete, let's do a little more tuning.
There you go. That's right. You can't have a mandolin in your hand unless you're tuning it. So, but it is nice to be here at Allen Music and just pull a brand new Martin D28 off the shelf that you can own for $3,200 or $31.99.
$31.99.99.
Yeah, exactly. Or this slightly used Eastman that is in pristine condition, very beautiful.
Look how pretty that is.
Yeah, that's a nice mandolin.
That is a really pretty mandolin.
Check out our Facebook page. I'll shoot a quick video of Josh doing that little intro, and you can practice it and learn to play it just like Josh Williams right there.
If you want to.
That's right. When we come back, we're going to talk to Skyline recording artist Dalton Harper. So you guys hang with us, and we'll be back right after this.
For over 50 years, Puckett's Jewelry in Benton, Kentucky has been a trusted choice for fine jewelry that will last a lifetime and help you celebrate life's most precious moments. The new owners, Bart and Hannah Lewis, are excited to continue the Puckett's Jewelry legacy in Marshall County and are proud to support bluegrass music. Puckett's Jewelry on the Square in Benton, Kentucky. Visit them online at puckettsjewelry.com.
The Duck Blind, located in Barlow, Kentucky, is your neighborhood restaurant, bar, and grill. Stop by and try their burgers, the shotgun fixins, the greenhead taco salad, or the pintail pizza. They also are a full-service spirit store with a drive-thru. It's a great family atmosphere with live music on the back patio. The Duck Blind Bar and Grill in Barlow, Kentucky. The Lake House Inn at Sled Creek has undergone complete renovation in 2023. Our outdoor space is unlike any other at Kentucky Lake, with 2 in-ground pools, 18 rooms, and 4 cabins. We're just a stone's throw away from Kentucky Dam. If you're looking to make memories with your family, this nostalgic inn is for you. Welcome to your lake house, where modern meets rustic and becomes home. Reserve online at lakehouseinn.com.
Kentucky, home to fast horses, good bourbon, and bluegrass music.
The Hometown Bluegrass Show.
All right, folks, welcome back to the Hometown Bluegrass Show, presented by Allen Music Shop. .com. Appreciate y'all being with us. Hey, we are super excited because right now our guest for tonight is somebody who's gotten real brave and decided to join us. Mr. Dalton Harper. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How about y'all?
Doing great, man. Skyline recording artist Dalton Harper. That sounds more official, don't it?
That sounds a lot better.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, we appreciate you being here, man, and I'm not sure why you wanted to subject yourself to the punishment that you're about to uphold here, but we'll have some fun, okay?
Yes, sir.
Well, we appreciate you being here. And I guess my first question I have for you is, has anybody ever told you sound just like Josh Williams when you sing?
Oh, my gosh.
Well, I've been told that, but
You've been called worse,
the
haven't you?
question is, has anybody told Josh Williams he sounds like Dalton Harper?
I love it. I love it.
Man.
That's hilarious. That's so great. Well, I will tell you, man, the first time I heard you, I was like, wait a minute, what the heck, and I have run your songs by other people just for experimental purposes, my wife and other friends, and I'm like, who do you think this is? And it's like, I don't know, it kind of sounds like Josh Williams. And I was like, it's not, it's Dalton Harper.
Man, a couple years ago, or maybe a year ago or so, I was at Spigma, and every single person that I walked by was like, man, I heard somebody that got to tell me about, Dalton. I was like, well, yeah, I know who that is. I've known him a long time, actually, since he's really young, and didn't have all that facial hair and had a lot more hair on top. He looked kind of like me. I don't have any of that either anymore, hardly. But, yeah, I mean, I was like, no, I haven't heard this, I want to hear it.
That's great.
And I guess, Dalton, your most recent record, didn't my ex-wife Danny, I think she sang on it, didn't she?
Yeah, she the newest single that is out, she's singing tenor on it.
Okay.
It's, Cast the Devil from Your Mind.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I was, even she's like, wow, he sounds a lot like you. I was like, well, cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was kind of weird when we was recording. She kept telling me if I asked her to do something, she said, all right, Josh.
Oh, that's funny. Well, I hope she... that's funny. I'm very... she did a great job, man. It sounds great. Well, she's an amazing singer anyway, but...
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I want to talk more about that in just a minute. I think my second thing I want to ask you is talk a little bit about your family band. I know my first personally experience, I guess, with the Harper family music was one of your older family band albums. I can't remember the name of the album, but it was the one with Salt and Light and Wherever You Are on it. Those songs.
Yeah, that should have been our Changing album.
Okay.
That was the second to last album I was on with them.
Okay. Well, that was the first album I heard. I had a buddy of mine at church said, man, you would love this song, and go check it out. And he sent me Salt and Light. And I was like, oh my gosh, what a cool song. And that's when I first started kind of following you guys. And that was only maybe about 5 years ago or so. So when did you guys all start playing as a family band?
2009. I was a sophomore in high school, and Dad had came home and said, well, as soon as the school year ends, we're going full-time on the road.
Really?
Yep, we started a music ministry. And
how old were you then?
From there. I was 15.
15. And so,
Yep.
So it's your dad, your mom, you, and two sisters, is that right?
A little brother and a little sister.
Little brother, little sister. Okay. So, is that your only siblings?
Yep.
So it was the whole family.
Yep.
Well, that's cool. So
They
how
were
was
great
it?
too, man.
Yeah. How was it? How was it doing that, traveling around the country with your family?
Well, we love each other.
That's a bonus.
It was a good time. I think it was 2010. My little brother had actually only been playing a mandolin since May of 2009 when we first started. And we got in and we went to the Spigma band contest just to kind of get some exposure.
Uh-huh.
And we ended up winning it.
Oh, wow.
In 2010. And then that was the same year that I met Josh for the first time.
Oh,
at
really?
Silver City. Yeah.
That's right,
Silver
yeah.
Dollar City. Okay. So
Yeah.
in 2010.
Yep.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, we took off from there, and by the time we made our second year run, Dad just asked me to start doing all the booking. Well, I got a little out of hand, and in 2011 and 12, I think it was, we played right at 300 dates a year for both years.
Wow. That's a lot.
That's a lot of working, man.
Yeah, we was tired,
I bet.
but we pretty well lived on our bus the whole time, and we rented our house out back home, and we just stayed on the road pretty well everywhere we went.
Wow. Now, were you writing music at this point? Writing some of your songs?
Yep. The Changes album, the title track of that album is actually one that I had wrote.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love that song.
And the albums before that one, you can't hardly find them anymore. I don't even know if we have any copies of them anymore. But me and my mom and little brother, all three write.
Yeah.
And Mom, her songwriting is very, very in-depth, like a Ron Block style.
Right.
It's almost like you got to search out the author of the song in order to understand exactly what it's meaning.
So did she write Wherever You Are?
No, I'm trying to think. No, there was one song on this she wrote, but I can't remember what the name of it was. But she has it's a story. That's the main thing of whatever thing we would do. We would try to make all of our songs storyline songs if we was writing them.
Yeah.
She wrote Well Done on that album.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, it was a great album, and so from the family band days, I mean, how old were you guys whenever you guys stopped doing that, and what did you do from there?
Well, 2013 is whenever I found out that I had cancer.
Yes, that's what I want to talk about as well.
Yeah, we went through the first bout, and I was still playing music with them. We had slowed down a little bit, but after that first bout, we hit it hard again, and then the following January in 14, it came back. And when it came back that second time, I just stepped back and said, I'm done.
And how old were you then?
I was 19.
19. So you're 19 years old, you're playing music, traveling the country, and all of a sudden you find out you have, was it Hodgkin's lymphoma? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, wow. But, I mean, what does that do to a 19-year-old? I mean, that's bound to be.
Yeah, you find out you're not 10 foot tall and bulletproof pretty quick.
I bet.
Yeah. It really messed with my mind pretty bad there for a while. And I was, in my head, I was mad at God for, in my mind, I was ministering and doing my part, and I didn't understand. I mean, I still don't understand why I had it. But all I know is I've got a great testimony to go along with it now.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he pulled you through it, and I mean, twice, I guess, didn't he? I mean, yeah. So it came back, you beat it again, and now you just kick its butt, and you're out there just spreading the gospel.
Yes, sir. Actually, this year makes 10 years.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
That's awesome, man.
So cool.
That's great.
So when did is that approximately when you joined Cedar Hill, or what kind of happened after that?
No, after that, I got into a little bit of a wild side. And went off and partied and drank and fought and run around and
we've all been there
for a while. In and out of jail a couple times, and having to wonder if I'm going to call my mom is the the biggest part of it. Like, well, I'm here again. What do you want to do with this?
All right.
That's always the hardest call. It was always so much easier for me to call Dad than it was Mom, just because of that.
Yeah, you made that call before, didn't you?
Oh, I've made that call. I've made all kinds of those calls, man. I really have, Well,
that's crazy. So,
but no, I started playing with Cedar Hill in 2019.
Oh, okay. So you were several years there, not really playing much.
Yeah, I traveled around with a couple of little country groups here and there, and didn't do a whole lot.
Right, just here and there. Yeah. Well, that's cool. So how did the Cedar Hill... the Cedar Hill had been a band for a while before, hadn't he?
Oh, yeah. In 19, I think Frank Ray had said they've been going for almost 50 years.
Yeah. I thought they'd been around a long time.
Yeah, old Frank's been hard at it for a long time.
Yep. And I had actually entered the band contest at Stigma with a band that I was playing with called Dead End Road. We named it Dead End Road thinking, well, we're not going anywhere with it. So
Yeah.
Frank and them was in the crowd whenever we was in the contest, and he asked all the band members, he's like, hey, what do you think of him? And he approached me after the contest was over and asked if I wanted a job.
Wow. Well, that kind of worked out, didn't it?
Yeah, Dead End Road was no more.
Yeah, you guys aren't really that far apart from each other either, are you?
No, Frank lives about an hour and a half from me.
There you go.
And where do you live in Missouri?
I live in a little town called Bunker.
Okay. Is that around the Springfield center of the state, or?
No, it's more southeastern, toward the Boot Heel. We're about an hour southeast of Rolla.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha. You're not too far from me in far western Kentucky there, so.
No, sir.
Not too far away. Well, that's cool. We're right there where the Ohio runs into the mighty Mississippi, so we can look across and see Missouri.
I'm actually going to be in your neck of the woods pretty quick.
I know. I wanted to mention that to the folks. You got March the 10th, I think it was. You're going to be in Wycliffe, right?
Yes, sir. Yep, I'll be at Daniel Fraser's church there in Wycliffe, Kentucky, March 10th on that Sunday morning.
Yeah, Victory Baptist Church in Wycliffe. So if you want to get out, we're going to try to get down there and see you guys. Actually, I'm supposed to sing at my church that Sunday, but I'm thinking about just tell them, sorry, I gotta go see Dalton. I can't sing. So, but yeah, that's great. In the little band I play in, our lead singer Daniel, the pastor there, they're cousins, and so I think she's going to join us too. So we're excited about that. So
are you going to be like playing music or sharing your testimony or both, or what's the plan for that?
It's both.
Yeah.
Whenever we go, there's no sparing of music, but you can't go to a church without ministering. And if you're not sharing your testimony, I don't feel like you're ministering all you can.
Mm-hmm. Now, you do that a lot, don't you? You like, travel to a lot of churches. Is that primarily what you do now, or?
Well, that's what I know.
Mm-hmm.
I still have a ministry mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And churches have always been good to us. I don't mind playing bluegrass festivals. We play bluegrass.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever we go to them places to play festivals, I mean, we do gospel material added into our sets, but it's primarily bluegrass. But for the most part, we play churches.
Right. Well, that's cool. Well, your songwriting is amazing. I mean, you've written some great songs. I mean, I think one of my favorites is Everything to Me that Kenny and Amanda Smith did. I mean, that's a great song. Highway of Love, of course, was a real popular one for you, I'm sure. And but
I wish I wrote Highway of Love.
Oh, you do not? Okay.
Yep, I wrote Coming Home to You.
Okay, gotcha. Highway of Love was your album. Oh, who wrote it?
Paula Breedlove.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's a great song. So you should have wrote that, man. What was you thinking?
It is really cool for me to be able to see how well you're doing, man, and to hear what you're doing. You can really hear the life, the way that your past, you can hear that comes through in music, and I feel like for myself, I know there's certain songs that because of what I went through, I sang completely differently and I sing better to a point. I'm able to convey the message of the song or whatever, I mean, it's just cool to hear that in your singing and your songwriting.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I like to put as much emotion as I possibly can into my singing.
You got to, man. That's where it's at. I mean, and you do great, dude.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
So you started early, but I mean, you're bound to have some musical influences in your life. Was there anybody that you idolized? And you don't have to say Josh Williams since he's sitting here, but
I took a lot from Josh. Listening to records as a kid, Dad's actually sat me down with Joel Lawson records right off the bat.
Yeah.
And
nice.
He told me, he said, now you listen to his rhythm. And then he said a Lonesome River Band album in front of me. And he said, hey, listen to Kenny Smith's rhythm. And then listen to Dan Tominski's rhythm on Alison Krause's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I went through, and I mean, I'd rather play rhythm than pick.
Yeah.
And that was another thing that I really thought of Josh. I'd heard him say that once before, and I thought, yeah, at least I'm not the only one.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's where it's at, dude. I have more fun doing that than I do anything.
Yeah. Especially the fact that in certain songs you can change your rhythm.
Yeah.
Of how, like if a banjo kick into a Jimmy Martin rhythm where it's got more drive to it, or if it's a sappy song, kick into a Kenny Smith rhythm or a Tony Rice rhythm where you can kind of do a little bit of cross picking while you're doing rhythm.
Absolutely.
It's so fun.
Well, and it's cool that you hear that. There's a lot of players that don't pick up on that. You know, it's not something that's even in their mind because they're thinking about just other things. They're not thinking about the different, most people play guitar and they play rhythm and that's, one way and that's it. They don't think about things that way. And the fact that you do just speaks highly of your musicianship. The fact that you hear things like that, you can hear the difference between this person's rhythm or that person's rhythm or, all of that stuff. I think that's really impressive. There's a lot of people that aren't able to hear that stuff.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I pride myself on trying to be a good rhythm player.
Well, hey, man, that's what's important. Anybody can play them really showy licks. You know what I mean? What's really important on a bluegrass guitar, I think, is the rhythm and knowing where to put all those things and where not to put all those things. A lot of great players out there, and I'm not knocking anybody by any means. I'm just saying, to me and what I like to hear, the rhythm is first. And even Tony told me that the times that I was working with him, he said, you play rhythm first, and he was the same way. He would just as soon sit around and let other people take all the leads and just play rhythm to everything, and so that's cool, man. That's cool.
A different feel and a drive that you don't get whenever you have somebody that's just playing just one straight rhythm the whole time.
Right.
If you can differentiate what rhythm sounds better in a certain song, it's a different feel to your jam sessions or your stage presence.
Absolutely. It's a dynamic thing, the dynamics is not just about volume. It's about texture and structure and all this stuff, along with it. And it's just it's cool to hear people talk like that because there's so many people out there that just stuff like that gets overlooked all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's cool. So you talked about being in a little bit of a country band and stuff. Were there any country music influences that you had early on in life, or?
A lot of mine are the same as everybody else's.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
I'm a huge Keith Whitley fan.
Yeah.
And as far as the country singing goes, I sing country different than I do bluegrass.
Right.
Because there's a lot of country songs that have a real deep meaning to them. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of bluegrass songs. You can only go over the mountain so many times.
Right.
That's right.
Or get on the train so many times.
You can only kill her so many times.
That's right.
But in country songs, it feels like the lyrics have a deeper meaning to them.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of pain in a lot of those lyrics.
Yes. And you sing them different.
Yeah.
And another one that I listen to all the time is Don Williams. I'm a huge Don Williams fan.
Yeah, me too. I love a song that evokes some kind of emotion, that just, I want to feel it. So that's cool. Speaking of that, so how did you end up, speaking of old country, the Desert Rose Band song that, Love Reunited that you recorded, how did that come about? That's a great song, and I love your version of it.
Well, when we was gathering songs for that album, Will McSeveny, the man who owns the label that I'm with, he told me, he said, I want you to send me a version of the such and such songs with just you and a guitar to judge how you sing it and if I can feel the emotion while you're singing it. And we got to Love Reunited, and it was one that he threw at me, and he said, learn this one. I was like, well, I already know that one. He said, all right, we'll do a version of it, just you and the guitar. And I sent it to him, and he said, we're cutting that one.
Nice.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
And,
it's like I think your version is just a hair faster than the original or something. Seems like
it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I like it. It's just I always loved that song growing up. But your version's really cool.
Now, is that one that the Desert Rose Band guys did they write that?
I'm not sure.
Yes.
Hillman or
It was, Yep, Steve Day and Chris Hillman.
Yep.
I'll be dang.
Yep. That's right. I did
And
read
Chris
that.
he's been promoting it himself.
Great.
Wow.
And that helped. He's been doing stuff on Dwight Yoakam's Sirius channel and promoting it, and it's been played on that channel 5 or 6 times the past couple weeks.
Man, that's great. Congrats. That's killer.
Yeah, you don't get much more honor than that, than the person who wrote the song promoting your version of it.
And
Right.
and the history of that guy, man. I mean,
yeah.
holy cow. I mean, all the way from the Byrds to the Burrito Brothers to the Desert Rose Band. I mean, that guy has been around the block in the music world, man.
Yep.
In every genre, just about, Great
And
mandolin
he's
player.
such a good guy.
Yeah.
He reached out to us whenever we sent him a version of it just to show him, hey, somebody recorded your song. And he reached out and he's like, man, I love it. And ever since then, he's been talking to me and Will just consistently back and forth on social media.
Man,
And
that's awesome.
Such a great guy.
Tell him, send you some more material, man.
Yeah, he's one of them guys that whenever he writes stuff that has emotion and feeling to him.
He's lived it, man.
Yep.
I would love to just sit in a room with him sometime. I've never gotten to meet him. I know Herb and I know John, but I've never gotten to meet Chris before. And I would love to just sit in a room and just hear stories about his time with Graham Parsons and with even with Clarence White, man. I mean,
Yep.
That's cool.
such
Yeah,
history.
because what Clarence, one of the original Byrds?
He was, yeah. I'm not sure if he was original or not, but he was definitely in the group. I do know that, and I'm not saying that he wasn't. I just don't know. But I do know that it was in that band when they built the original B-bender that Marty Stewart plays today. That is the heaviest guitar.
Oh, really?
It's 2 electric guitar bodies stuck together.
Oh, my
Because it was just a normal 52 Telecaster beforehand. And they built the whole contraption of the B-bender inside another body, and then attached it to the original back of the original guitar. And, yeah, so that's to this day, it's the guitar Marty plays, man.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy. Well, Dalton, you've done a lot already in your short life, and you have a powerful testimony. And man, I just applaud you for keeping it going and the fight that you won, with cancer and your ministry. You keep it going, and man, you're making some great music. You're writing great music, playing great music, and we just appreciate your efforts. And tell the folks how they can keep up with you and what you're doing and where you're playing and stuff.
Sure thing. You can find me on Facebook at Dalton Harper Music. You can go to my website, daltonharper.com, or on Instagram where it's Dalton Harper Music also.
Awesome.
Very nice.
I don't even think Josh knows this, but we talked earlier today, you and I, and I think we've got him booked for the Kentucky Opry for our Bluegrass Night on June the 7th.
That's great, man. That is awesome.
Yeah, I think we've got that worked out. So stay tuned for more info on that and get to Kentucky Opry on June the 7th and hear Dalton and his band there. So we're excited about that. So,
Man, you're going to have to tell your family hello from me.
I'll do it.
well,
They're on back on the road too.
Yeah?
how are they
They
singing?
shut out for a few years, and now they're back at it.
Well, good.
Oh, that's cool. That's really neat. Well, they're great singers as well. So that's cool to see that they're still out making great music too. So.
Yeah, that's great, man. But we sure do appreciate you taking time out of your evening to hang out with us here, man, and talk with us.
I appreciate the invite.
All right.
Anytime, man. You're always welcome back, too.
Yeah, man, we can't wait to see you around these parts here in Western Kentucky, and you keep doing what you're doing, and we will talk soon, buddy. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right, Dalton, have a good night.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Dan Fogelberg said one time, "It seems like bluegrass people have more great stories to tell than other musicians."
You're listening to the Hometown Bluegrass Show.
All right, welcome back to the Hometown Bluegrass Show. We're so thankful for Dalton Harper taking the time to join us tonight. That was a good conversation, wasn't it, buddy?
Man, I tell you what, he's a great young man.
Yeah, he is. Class act.
I know he's been through a lot too, and some of that stuff I've been through just like him. But to be able to come back from such a deadly cancer, not once but twice, just wow, what a story.
Yeah.
What a story.
Yeah, if you get a chance to go see him, you need to. And he's going to be around these parts here coming up soon. And then we're going to have him at the Kentucky Opry on June the 7th. So we're excited about that. So,
man, my dad used to always tell me this whenever something like that would, he would meet somebody that had been through something or whatever. And he said, I know when anytime somebody says there's no God, I just feel so sorry for them,
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, you can't see a sunrise, sunset, watch a baby born, or a butterfly being hatched and not think there's a God. I mean, makes no sense to me. But anyway, well, we've had a great show. Again, you guys look us up on Facebook at the Hometown Bluegrass Show. Tell us you're listening. We want to hear from you and know what you're thinking about the show. And we want to hear from all you guys. And we're going to put a video of Josh playing the intro to "I've Forgotten You" on the mandolin, and you can check that out and practice with that as well. And don't forget, if you want to register for 2 free tickets to the Industrial Strength Bluegrass Festival, coming up here in March of 2024, March the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd in Wilmington, Ohio. It's simple. All you got to do is go to the Hometown Bluegrass Show Facebook page. Simply leave us a comment or a message telling us why you love bluegrass music, and we will randomly pick a winner on February the 29th.
Don't forget to write in about your hometowns as well.
That's right. Yep, hometowns. We talked about Benton, Kentucky tonight, and let us know what you want to hear about next week. Tell us about your hometown and why bluegrass music is so important in your hometown. So we want to hear about that as well. So, but anyway, it's been a good show, man.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Always.
Appreciate you, man.
Always good to be here with you.
Always good. Always good to be here with you, my friend.
And for you and for everybody else out there, if nobody said today that they love you, I love you.
Well, I love you too, honey. I appreciate it. And I love bluegrass music.
Absolutely.
And I love the Hometown Bluegrass Show presented by AllenMusicShop.com. Y'all have a good night, everybody.
This has been a Bats